So you've heard me talk about this product being just riba in disguise and this other product just being a conventional product with a change in terminology. And you've heard me stress the importance of the prohibition of riba in Islam and the severity of the punishment to those who indulge in riba and engage in it. And now the question that many ask is, well, what's the solution? We are convinced that riba is haram. We're convinced that these products are haram, that they're just riba in disguise and they don't offer anything different. What's the solution? And that's exactly what I want to talk to you today about. So let me tell you a story that is relayed to us in the Quran. It is the story of Sayyidina Musa when he leaves Egypt and he gets married to one of the daughters of Sayyidina Shu'aib. At the time of marriage, he doesn't have any money to pay the dowry to get married. And the father of his bride-to-be sees this, recognizes this, and recognizes that Sayyidina Musa's biggest asset is the labor that he can do in the future. And based on this says, in place of the dowry, instead of asking you for money for a dowry, you can commit the next 8 years of your labor to me, and that will be in place of the dowry. And I'll let you marry my daughter. And so that's what they agree on. Sayyidina Musa agrees with his father-in-law that in place of the dowry, he's going to work for him for 8 years in the future, and he gets married that way. If we break this story down into its component parts, what we realize here is that financing has occurred. Sayyidina Musa needed money, needed capital in order to get married, and he was able to get that capital by selling a share of his future labor to his financier, which was his father-in-law. So what I've done is I've replicated this financing in order to provide consumer financing for those who want a product that is superior to interest-bearing loans and for people who want to avoid interest-bearing debt and abide by Islam's prohibition on paying or receiving interest. And so the way my product works is that, just as in the case of Sayyidina Musa and his father-in-law, we provide people with financing, people who need money. In return for our financing, they commit to share a fixed percentage of the fruits of their labor, i.e. their income, for a fixed period of time in which they are working. So let me give you an example. And keep in mind, these are hypothetical numbers that I'll give you in this example, and they're for illustration purposes. The terms of an individual's financing will differ based on that individual's particular circumstances and the merits of their application. So let's say Adam needs $25,000 to pay off his credit card debt. And let's say I estimate that Adam is going to earn $100,000 every year for the next 5 years. So in which case, if Adam shares 6% of what he earns for the next 5 years in which he is fully employed, I will receive $30,000 on an investment of $25,000 that I make today. Now, if Adam's income turns out to be more than $100,000, then I'll make more than my target return. If it turns out to be less than $100,000, then I'll earn less and I may even lose money. But in either case, Adam will not be in default so long as he paid the fixed percentage of his income that we agreed on at the outset. So here, me as a financier, I'm taking a risk with my money. I'm investing in Adam because I believe in Adam. I believe in his ability to earn a future income. In return for that risk, I am hoping to gain a profit. And the beauty of the system is that now Adam's payments are designed to stay affordable. So if his income goes up and he can afford to pay more, his payments go up. If his income goes down and he can't afford to pay as much, his payments go down. In which case, regardless of how much he returns to us, so long as he's paying us the agreed upon fixed percentage of his income for that agreed upon period of time that's set at the outset and is fixed, he's not in default, regardless of how much he returns to us. So it's really a partnership between two people. One person is providing the cash and the other person is providing the labor, and the two are sharing in the output of the labor, i.e. the income. It's really that simple. Now, some may have a negative reaction to committing a fixed share of their income, and they may be concerned that, hey, what if I earn a lot of money? What happens then? Then I'll pay a lot more than what I received. Well, my answer to that is twofold. First, if you do really good for yourself and exceed our targets by a wide margin, then the first reaction you should have is, yay, I'm doing great. Because let's say you're committed to sharing 6% of your income. Well, guess what? 94% of that income that has exceeded all our targets is staying with you. So you should be really happy. The only time we're going to do well is if you do well. And then the second thing I would say to this is that we always provide people with the option to buy us out of our right to share in their income. And we provide a schedule at the outset of the agreement, what it will take at every period of time to buy us out of our right to share in their income. Not only are our payments designed to stay affordable, and not only do you have the option of fulfilling your obligations early at any time you choose. Additionally, when we invest in you, because our well-being is tied to your well-being, we want you to do the best you possibly can do. So if we have any connections that we think will help you, if we can provide any career advice, I've done personally some resume reviews. I've sat on the phone and did some interview prep with people I've invested in. So we're invested in your success. When you're receiving an investment from us, you're truly becoming our financial partners for the period that we're invested in you. And we want you to do the best you possibly can do. So you're not only receiving financing, you're gaining an agent who is always working on your behalf to advance your career as much as possible. Now, what can our financing be used for? Well, basically it can be used for anything, legal of course. We've helped people buy furniture. We've helped people make a down payment on their house. We've helped people buy cars. We've helped people pay off their credit card loans. We've helped people pay for tuition. It's really whatever you want to use the money for, so long as it is legal. Now, is our product halal? Well, obviously we think that it is. Now, you may be thinking, well, Sayyidina Musa, when he was working for Sayyidina Shu'aib, he was working directly for him. So that's kind of different. Well, actually it's not. It's very conceivable that Sayyidina Shu'aib could have told Sayyidina Musa, hey, go work wherever you want to work and share with me the income that you generate from that work. In fact, that would give Sayyidina Musa more freedom, more flexibility to work wherever he wanted to work and just share whatever he generated from that work with his father-in-law. So it's actually less restrictive than Sayyidina Musa's agreement with Sayyidina Shu'aib. The second difference that may be cited is that, well, Sayyidina Musa was working entirely for the father. And in our case, we're only asking the finance to share with us a small percentage of the outcome of their labor with us, rather than 100% of the outcome of their labor with us, as did Sayyidina Shu'aib with Sayyidina Musa. So these two differences don't represent any sort of violation in Islam. It's certainly not riba, our arrangement, because there's no loan involved. There's no principal amount that needs to be returned. There's no macer involved, because we are engaged in a productive activity. We're producing value in society. There's no gharar involved, because every party knows exactly what they're getting. The financier is gaining the right to share in the financed income at a fixed known percentage that's predetermined for a fixed period of time that's predetermined. And the finance is getting an amount in financing. And this is really no different than the very well-known mudaraba contract, wherein one partner provides money and the other partner provides labor, and both partners share in the outcome of the labor. Yes, it's true that things haven't been done exactly as we've presented them before, but this doesn't mean that it's haram. The default for everything in Islam is permissibility. And in order to prove something is haram, you have to bring something from the Quran or Sunnah that would suggest that what you're doing is haram. And there is no such thing in the Quran or Sunnah. And we actually encourage people to make public any objections that they may think of for our product, because we will respond to them in public. So if you have any objection, any doubt about the permissibility of our product, then make sure you make it public so we can respond to it publicly. And I've actually included on my blog a response to all of the arguments that are conceivable to this product, and you can read it and judge for yourself. So I encourage you to consider us for your next financing needs. We only provide financing for people who are in the United States. Some restrictions may apply. You can find us at fundmebff.com. If you have any questions about our product or how it works or anything else that I mentioned in this video, then please reach out to me. I'll leave my contact information in the description to this video. Until next time, take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.